Hi, I am Kay Lee, and welcome to Express Power Talks. Today's talk is on validation. Everybody wants to be validated every day. There are four things that every person talk about or want daily. That is, do you hear me? Do you love me? Am I worthy? Did I do okay? You've heard that. That sounds familiar, right? Do you hear me? Oftentimes the person just want to know, did you hear me? It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that's just being said. But one thing is that they're talking, they're saying something, and so now they're asking you, do you hear me? Good response is yes. I hear you. That doesn't mean that you understand everything and doesn't mean that you heard it all, but you heard something. Another word is that phrase is that, do you love me? Key in relationships, key with children. Children are asking in their way. They may not say, do you love me? They may say things like, well, you don't love me. What they're asking for is validation. And as parents, as siblings, as grandparents, as those who do love them, this is your opportunity not to scold them for asking such a question. If they ask, they must need validation. So, Grandpa, this is an opportunity for you to simply say, I love you to that child, and especially to teenagers. But you want to validate them. They want to be validated, and you want the right person to say, I love you. You don't want the wrong person to say, like TV, just saying, I love you. And then they believe the internet, or they believe somebody on the internet who may or may not be so cool. So you want to be the one to say, no, well, you don't want to say, oh, we love you. No, you want to say simply, I love you, especially to a child and to anybody else who is in your household that you may have been together for quite some time, but you still want to say, I love you. You ever hear things like, am I worthy? I'm not sure if I'm worthy to be a dad, to be a mom, or just to stay single. Am I worthy? Am I worthy of this career job, this promotion that I'm applying for? And you want to reassure them. You want to say, you are worthy. As a matter of fact, you are more than worthy. I believe in you. I love you. And yes, you are worthy. Answer the question, because they're asking, am I worth it? Am I worthy? So you want to be able to respond in a very positive manner. Did I do okay? You ever have someone to make a really fantastic speech, or they got an A on a paper, or they passed, they graduated with an associate degree, a PhD, and they said, did I do okay? And you want to validate. Don't say, what do you mean, did you do okay? No, just answer the question. They're asking for validation coming from you. Sure, they got all the accolades and they were honored and so forth, but they're asking for validation from you, the surrounding people. And you want to be able to say, yes, you did okay. Just answer the question. The next part of our Express Talk today is how to reduce stressful conversations. Now, you're going to like this. I have 8 for you. Very easy. Express affection all day long throughout the day. And you would say, well, Kaylee, how can I possibly do that? I have to see about the kids, or I have to go to class, or I have to go to work. Well, at work, you want to take your 15 minutes and you want to sit down and call or dial someone or send a text message, and you want to validate that I care for you. And you're being affectionate, all right? Or I like your ears, or I like, that we had a chance to talk this morning, or thank you for the coffee. This is all affection. And so if you call somebody and they don't answer, so big deal. It's not about control. It's not about checking on somebody, that kind of thing. It is just about you doing your part and letting that be. So that's how you can just show affection all day. Leave a little note at home somewhere. I love you, or I'd be glad to see you this afternoon, or have a good day, that kind of thing. So, number two is understanding precedes advice or feedback. Sometimes people don't want all of that. They just want you to understand what they're going through or what they are saying in the moment. So, what do you say? You just say, I understand. Now, you may not understand the entire process of what's going on, but you understand something they're talking, so you are understanding that part. So say, I understand. So you have an opportunity later on to go back and say, could you explain it a little bit more to me? Or this was my feelings about it, but I wanted you to know at that moment is that I understand. So it's all about reducing stressful conversations. Number three, his feelings, her feelings makes a difference. All right. So sometimes we have to step back and say, okay, her feelings are what we need to be dealing with right now, and that's okay. Now, you don't have to say that, just do it. And you allow that person to express their feelings. It may not be authentic for you, but it's how they feel. So if you let them express their feelings, the atmosphere can be a lot better. So allow the person to express their feelings, and they usually calm down or may change their feelings or keep their feelings because they're true. And maybe this is an opportunity for you to be a lot more understanding. All right. And number four, which I like and is key in all of our communications, is learning to listen. Listen and show genuine interest. So that means take the newspaper, put it down. I don't know where that habit came from, reading the paper at the table. I hope that's gone and old because it's never worked anyway. Or reading a book while we're all sitting down as a family. How about just talking to each other? Or not talking, but just being in each other's face. Put the phone down. As a matter of fact, I used to not even allow the cell phone at my table when my children would come over. I said, put your phone away. You can put it on vibrate, whatever you want to do. But while we're sitting here as a family for this hour or two, guess what? We're not going to do the phone. And they laugh about it now, but I was very, 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 very serious. So there are things that we can do to show genuine interest in the other person. Because if you think about it, you want them to show genuine interest in you and what you've got going on. So this is your chance to do that before that time. So number five, communicate your understanding. I think I just said that, but understanding, let them know. Communicate in many different ways. You could be a mom, you always cook salmon on Friday, but actually dad hates that. And he said it one or two times, but he just eats it anyway. But actually begin to hear him and communicate in this way. Don't cook salmon for him. Next Friday, cook some fries or cook baked potatoes or make a good salad and maybe some good type of fish, bake some fish. Do something that he really, and they say to him after he enjoys that meal, say, I understand now, and I appreciate you going along with the family, but I want you to know that I'm communicating to you that I understand that you really don't like salmon. And so I'm going to try to do this part for you on Friday, do a little something different for the family. Now, next one, take your partner's side. If you are visiting grandpa, grandma, auntie in the presence of coworkers or whatever, and you don't want to talk against your partner, you all are a institution, you are a business, you are an organization, so you stick together. This is your partner, this is your wife, your husband, so you want to be on the same side. Now at the dinner table and things are not so cool and you don't want to side with them and maybe they've done you wrong, well, don't go overboard. Don't make up a lie because everybody can feel that. So maybe that's something that needs to be worked out before you get with other people. But you definitely don't want to whisper in somebody else's ear something negative about your spouse, because people have vibes. They pick up things, they see things. Okay. So if that can't be worked out, then maybe you need to rethink your relationship. But you want to be on your partner's or your wife's side. Now, when your partner or wife or whomever in relationship says to you, number 8, how was your day? Do you want to be affirm and confirm? However, there is a time and place, guys. There's a time and place. Now, when dad is getting off the subway, he's tired, and then he's getting slamming the door, coming into the house, slamming the car door because he's coming into the house. Well, that is not a good time, children, to say, hey, dad, how was your day? As a matter of fact, give your dad time enough to get in the house and sit down, okay? Maybe you might want to just go and get his slippers, his house shoes. Get him a glass of ice water, or his favorite drink, such as ice water drink. And you might want to have him to just relax. And when he's ready to talk about his day, he will. You can say this, Mom. You can say things like, I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you made it. Dinner will be ready in just a little bit, so forth and so on. And so, Dad, we can turn that around. Same thing with your wife. When you're coming in the door, she's got kids. She's been house caring all day. Don't come in and say, well, how was your day? Why? She's had a long day. She's been taking 3 kids to the dentist. 1 kid had to stay home from school because that kid was sick. Mom, her mother happened to come over and happened to be a little bit more critical than usual. She's had a long day. So find other words to say these kind things. There are so many things you can do in a relationship. I think about in my mother's day, the husbands would come home because they're usually working out there with really hard work, and they have on these boots and they're tired. How about when my dad came home, I've seen my mother go over and help him take off his boots. Okay. Now he could probably have done that, but she would do that as a gesture of love. And she would ask one of us to go and get his house slippers. Now you can imagine that really did something to motivate their relationship. And I've also seen in other relationships is where the husband would do special things for the wife, like come and massage her back, at the right time. Everything is all about timing. You have to be sensitive to what their love language is. I know we had some sessions on that. So you want to find out what their love language is. This is all about how to reduce stressful conversations, how to validate each other in a relationship. Last example, I remember this particular couple. They were lovely. And see, lovely doesn't mean perfect. 40 years together, 20 years together, 20 minutes together. You can do these certain things that can enhance your relationship. Well, she had the prettiest, most loveliest, glowing hair. And she was an African-American lady. And we used to always ask her, who does your hair? We ask her this all the time because every time we saw her, it was different. And she would say, my husband does my hair. He was not a cosmetologist. He was just a wonderful husband whom, for wherever, maybe his mom taught him, I don't know, but he would brush her hair and he would style her hair. And they had this communication and relationship, and they are still together. I am telling you, these little things can go a long ways. And so, a woman may say, oh, I don't want him combing my hair. He don't know how to comb my hair. Well, you know what? It doesn't have to be hair. It could be something else. Or if you want him to be a person to do your hair, teach him. Hey, I think that people should go back to do their own hair at home sometimes anyway, because there is some type of connection there when you've got a little girl just sitting there on your lap and you're sitting there and brushing her hair and combing her hair. Don't you remember grandmamas used to do that kind of thing? And they will oil their hair or they would wash their hair. It's something very personal about that, and that is something that I would love to see our society go back to. Just brushing your little boys and your little girls' hair. You know what that's called? That's called connecting. And it's also called being affectionate. So until next time on our Power Talk, this is Kaylee. Have a great day.